I am a newly sworn-in county commissioner. We swore in January 4th, so the whole elected position is kind of new to me still. I did want to tell you that the first legislative act that we did was to pass a resolution that made Warren County, this week, Warren County's Educational Choice Week. So we're joining our voices along with many others across the nation, kind of a bottom-up swell to promote educational options that can help human flourishing. But unfortunately, whoever drafted the language of the resolution somehow neglected to include homeschooling. So naturally, I had to make a change right there on the floor in front of the press and everything, and kind of made a bit of a stink about the fact that homeschooling is a legitimate option and a growing one. And I don't think anyone really knew that I was homeschooled, unsocialized homeschooler. How in the world could I have gotten elected, right? So as a homeschooler, or former homeschooler, I suppose, I know very well how important it is to entrust parents with the freedom to decide what's best for their children, because they know their children best. Each child has individual needs, different personalities and environments, and although homeschooling is not the option for everyone, we should definitely have trust in our parents to make that decision. The evidence of economic impact on education is clear. That's why the government cares about education, right? It needs to rise up good citizens to take over in the economy. But school choice is critical for far more than just career aspirations. As Dr. Martin Luther King put it, education without morals is like a ship without a compass, merely wandering nowhere. Our government-run schools are required to operate without well-founded moral principles and instruction, and I view that as a huge detriment to not only the student and how they live their lives, but ultimately the success of this democratic institution. At the same time, there are things that the government can do legitimately with their power. And in addition to providing educational freedom, we need to be looking towards interesting and innovative models that, such as education savings account, which I know Demi Learning is very much interested in. Another one that my company is working on, in conjunction with Demi Learning actually, is related to social impact partnerships. And the fundamental idea is that we need to get the government out of creating more programs to solve social ills, whether that be special education needs to recidivism amongst inmates and such. The idea is to get government out of there and instead allow the private sector and nonprofits to really step up with their innovative models. And the thing that's really cool is that through these partnerships, you can actually make them performance-based. So either you get the metric that you're looking for, whether it's a reduction in recidivism or certain educational benchmarks, and that keeps everybody accountable and keeps the taxpayers from wasting their money on these big programs that ultimately don't help people. So the idea is fundamentally to get government out of the management of the day-to-day and put the power back in the hands of smaller government and, of course, the family, which is the smallest government unit, if you would. Over just my lifetime, my short lifetime, I've actually seen freedom really increasing in the area of education, and I'm very encouraged. I actually have a lot of hope for the future because we see these innovative models that are coming up and really taking over, and I have a lot of hope, and I hope that we can continue to be vigilant in the cause of educational freedom. Thank you very much for having me.